Starting roughly in 2018, fossil fuel interests really started to highlight the word alarmist in their climate messaging. The Italian journalists Stella Levantese and Giulia Corsi have found that between January 2016 and March 2020, the use of the terms realist and alarmist on Twitter grew by 900%, with the largest yearly increase recorded between 2018 and 2019. An analysis by the media watchdog Public Citizen revealed that by mid-2019, the propaganda that climate scientists and activists were alarmists, hysterical, chicken littles, or members of a, quote, doomsday climate cult had become a top climate message on Fox News. And during this period, then President Trump repeated the talking point eagerly, as in a speech at the 2020 World Economic Forum, where he dismissed the climate warnings of the alarmists who, he said, want to control every aspect of our lives. This drumbeat of the word alarmist was meant, it seems clear, to drown out the urgent calls for action that had been inspired by the 2018 release of the IPCC's special report on 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming, SR 1.5. This report had been commissioned by the parties to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change when they signed the Paris Agreement in 2015. It detailed the surprisingly large differences in harms between that agreement's two targets, warming of 1.5 degrees and well below 2 degrees Celsius. It also set out a timeline for action that shocked policymakers out of their cowardly post-Paris reluctance to move against fossil fuels. To maintain even a 2/3 chance of halting warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius, the IPCC said, the world would need to halve its emissions by 2030, then only 12 years away, and draw them completely down to net zero by 2050. This deadline to halt warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius seemed so alarming, not only because it was so awfully soon, but also because the report made it clear how much worse things would be if policymakers allowed global warming to progress even 0.5 degrees further to 2 degrees Celsius. For just one example, at 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming, about 14% of humanity will likely be exposed to life-threatening heat on a regular basis. At 2 degrees Celsius, that number more than doubles, rising to 37%, or approximately 3 billion people.